anyways, we have changed locations. We are now in my closet. But I like it because it's nice and cute and cozy. And I did some adjustments to make it nice, cute, and cozy. I put some of my artwork up. I try to give it like a living room aesthetic. Like, you're hanging out with me. You're at my house. Like, let's talk about stuff. I want to let everybody know that these prompts are unscripted. I literally just talk about whatever comes to mind. So, we are not being promoted, but I do need a sip of this water. Oh. Right on time. Okay. That was not my production team. That was just my faulty lighting, but it made it seem like it was a cue, so let's keep it on there. Let's see. What topics do I want to cover today? So, in the midst of political chaos, I had told myself I wanted to move to Canada because I was scared. And some of the fear has dissipated, but the dream is still there. So, after my 30th birthday, I realized that I was like on this journey of doing everything that I ever fucking wanted in this world. Like, I literally felt like the world was a mandarin and I was gonna eat the crap out of it with the juices just kind of gushing down my throat. And then, like, after finishing it, being like, that was so scrumptious. Like, that was what I wanted out of life. And I had planned, it's really sad for me to remember, but I had planned, I had booked like a solo trip for myself. It was going to be touring Europe, so I would start off with Italy, go to Greece, and then go to Croatia, and then Mykonos, but I had canceled it because I figured I don't know how we're going to be economically from here. I am a rascuacha from the hood. Everything I enjoy, or you see that I'm enjoying, is because I was able to save money to do all these really cool adventures. And also my adventures are very like minimal spending. I do day trips. I love to go to different areas and like, you know, just navigate coffee shops and all that stuff. Things that I can do on the weekend that put my mind at ease. So when I go back to work, I'm not like, I'm tired of this hamster wheel. Like, I feel like I don't do anything. Like, you know, each day kind of bleeds into each other. No, I want my weekends to be like, you know what? That was an amazing weekend. I did a little day trip and like, it just brings more life satisfaction. So, I was really sad to cancel my trip, but I know I did it with the idea that I can't sit here and pretend that, you know, I have all this money to go on this solo trip. Which, like, I already envisioned myself there. Like, I already, like, was picturing, like, what kind of content I was going to do, like, the videos and stuff, and then just, like, document this entire beautiful cities that I was going to travel to. And then I said, well, if you want to move to Canada, you need money. You need moving out money. And then you also need money for, you know, like appliances and stuff like that to actually live. So I got my deposit back of whatever I did pay towards that trip. If I can keep the purse strings tight as a Melissa, that was nasty. Tight as in tight, then maybe we can live in another cross state lines. Yeah, in a different, is it a state? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That's how you know I don't venture out and I don't know anything about the world. But being able to just like learn, you know, the only thing that I know about Canada is hockey. It's cold. People have accents. They have something called Jimmy Hortons, which is like their own like Starbucks, I want to say. I think my favorite like YouTube comedians are from Canada. Shout out to I can't think of his name right now. But anyways, yeah, so I don't know what that's gonna look like, but it's really great to manifest. And I feel like being able to dream is so fantastic. Being able to do it is even better. So yeah, how are we going to achieve that? How have we been doing that? So it's crazy how for my thoughts, the reason why I spring into action is because I had a thought that influenced another thought. So I was thinking in the shower, there's a lot of boycotts of like a place that I shop at a lot is Target. Like I buy a lot of my stuff from Target because it's convenient, right? They literally have everything. I mean, you're paying a little bit extra, but like it's a decent store. Now, in the state of boycotting, I realized I was like, man, I'm so tired of giving my money away to like corporations and like these big freaking companies. Like, why don't I become self-sufficient? Why don't I make my own detergent? Why don't I make my own softener? Why don't I make my own shampoo? Why don't I make my own conditioner? Why don't I make my own body wash? Certain things that I know I consume on a regular basis. Because I was just thinking, I was like, damn, I need to buy detergent every freaking week. And it's like, all because I want my clothes to smell clean. And I remember watching this video on TikTok saying like we overly use our detergent because we want our clothes to smell, and we think that smell equates clean. We have those thoughts correlated. That I personally would dump the crap out of the detergent, and I would literally use half of it in like one wash for like a couple of my items, and it just didn't seem. It was like bonkers. Like it made no sense. So then I realized, I was like, okay, why don't I use like detergent? Like once it looks like it's like foamy, use a smaller, but use a non-scented one, and then kind of just get like a linen spray in order for it to smell, so I feel clean. And it wasn't until like I had this thought, I was like, I should just make my own things. I should make my own facial products. I should make my own toothpaste. I should make my own, so I can be self-sufficient. And I want to do it in a way that is so successful that it inspires other people to do the same. Where it's like, why do we always have to consume so much? It's like, and then it's crazy that a lot of like the cleaning stuff, like the body wash and the facial stuff, all it literally uses is like Castle soap. That's it. Now of course we get like attached to certain scents, and it's like, oh, well, I like to smell clean, and I'm not dinging that on anybody. I love to smell deliciously fresh too, but it also goes, I think for me, whenever I love like the minimalist aspect of life, and whenever I can live without so much comfort, I enjoy that, because it means that whenever we get to a point in this world where we have to go without our comforts, I'm gonna be okay and I'm not gonna freak out. And I think that's always been something that I admire about myself, is that I do want to live with like less. Like I remember this one time I was like telling my mom, I was like, Mom, I don't need a bed frame, I just want like a mattress on the floor. And she flipped the fuck out. She said, you're gonna have spiders crawling up on you. No, I don't want that, because you're just gonna. And then I was just like, yeah, but in Asian culture, like that's what they do, and like they have perfect posture. Now talking about posture, I gotta correct myself. I am self-conscious about my hunchback, but that's probably another reason why I'm sitting on the floor like this, because if I'm sitting somewhere, I'm just like hunching over. But yeah, those are just like some of the thoughts that just spin into each other. So I'm definitely going to try the detergent one, just because it is cheaper to make your own. You have a larger amount, you don't need as much. And then I was like, also further thinking, like, this lifestyle that I'm starting to adapt is very like back to the basics. You know, where like, you know, the moms did everything. Moms, it was a female thing to do. Yeah, when females were the ones that they always had some way to fix things. Like, it wasn't like something's broken, replace it. And then that also made me think, like, what other contraptions can I buy that only allow me to recycle one part of it? Like, I was thinking about shavers. I was thinking about, what if I invest in, like, you know, a heavy duty shaver that all I have to really change out are the blades, or some form of like minimal work that I can continue using the same thing for years and years and years without always having to do like this plastic disposable one time use. Like, my heart hurts like whenever I like think about how much trash and like one time use things there are out in the world, and how bad we are affecting the future generations. And that's it. I guess we can leave the thoughts about like, we'll save the environmental thoughts for another podcast. But yeah, this is our 10-minute check-in, and we are out. I hope the space made you feel good. I am so hot right now.